right, we're going to start with our post-race media availability from tonight's North Carolina Education Lottery 200, and we have been joined by our third place finisher, driver of the number 4 SiriusXM Toyota, Christopher Bell. And Christopher, a little bit of a wild and crazy night for you out there tonight. Talk a little bit about your run and coming home with a third place finish.
Yeah, we had a really strong SiriusXM Tundra all throughout the test here a couple weeks ago. Practice yesterday, qualifying. Our Tundra was super, super good. Unfortunately, we got that flat early on in the race and kind of set us back. But we were able to rebound. We were able to get up to second there, and I felt like we were a second-place truck at that point. And just bummed I ran third. Sauter did an excellent job on that restart to kind of pin me down there in 3 and get by me. So just overall frustrated that I ran third with a second-place truck, but a great night, great rebound for us.
All right, and we've now been joined by our second-place finisher, Johnny Sauter, driver of the number 21 Allegiant Airlines Chevrolet. And Johnny, a great night for your team tonight, coming home in second place. I think I heard you say on the TV interview that it was your highest finish here. So just talk a little bit about your night and being able to come home in second.
Well, it was a good night for us. This is, I've made no secret about it, this has been a place I've typically struggled in the past. So, and even at the test, I didn't think we had a great test. So we actually brought a different truck back, and this is Old Faithful. It's a truck we've had success with last fall, and then obviously this year it's been running really well for us. But our Allegiant Travel Chevy was phenomenal in that second stage. I think we restarted 13th, and we were leading it, I don't know, 10, 12 laps into that run. And, you know, I called for an adjustment, and he gave it to me, and it was phenomenal there, and I should have got more of it on the final pit stop. And I just felt like this racetrack was going to go free like it always does, and it really didn't do that for me. I just needed more front grip, but you know, obviously where you restart is very important. You know, you want to be on the top. So having said all that, we executed the last restart pretty well, and you know, we were able to get a second place finish out of it. We just we got a little bit of work to do just to make our stuff a little bit better, but I couldn't be more proud of the effort from everybody at GMS tonight.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Johnny or Christopher. If you have one, please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. Any opening questions? Okay, we'll start with Bob and go to Zach.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. For both you guys are 1-2 in the points. You're kind of separated yourselves from everybody, and while the points do get reset, when you're racing each other every week in the top 5, do you kind of look at each other like, wow, this is it could come down to you two guys in the end?
Well, I'll start this off, man. I feel like my team's been executing every race, and my results, I feel like, have been pretty great throughout the year, and then all of a sudden this 21 truck's still ahead of us in points. So as great as my year's been, his year's been even greater. So happy with our team, and we've been able to execute. They've just been executing a little bit better all season long. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I knew coming into the season that Christopher was going to be one of the guys you're going to be racing for the championship. There's no doubt about it. He's a very, very talented young driver, and obviously with a great organization. So it would make, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us racing each other down to the wire. Having said that, we're on a great run here. You know, 3 second-place finishes in a row, I think. So you know, things go a little bit differently. Who knows? You could probably win one of them races. I felt like we had the best truck at Martinsville, and ultimately had the best truck at Daytona, and just circumstances didn't work out. So, you know, I do think we have a pretty good gap, which doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. I still feel the pressure to win every week, doing everything in our power to do that. And I can't think of 4 better racetracks coming up for us to try to snag a win here earlier in the season. And, you know, hopefully we're racing for that championship. I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
All right, Zach, go ahead.
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com for Christopher. When things go wrong like that, just 2-3 laps in, do you have to take a deep breath and make a conscious decision that okay, we can reset and there's plenty of laps left? Is that something that you and Rudy talk about and go from there?
Yeah, well, that's one thing Rudy's extremely talented at, is just coaching his drivers through it. He's been paired up with young drivers throughout his career, and especially the last couple years, and obviously his drivers have been extremely successful. So he's great at kind of walking me through everything and let me know the steps and the processes of how we're going to go back and get back to the front. But man, at the beginning of the race, we got a flat, and then I got told a spring rubber fell out. So we were on mismatched tires pretty much the whole race. So as far as my feedback, I was kind of all over the map as far as loose, tight, and I was having a hard time giving Rudy directions as to which way to go with the truck. But he knew in the back of his hand what we had and what tires we were on, and knew that when we put this last set on, we'd be just fine. So he did an excellent job coaching me through it, and I'll be honest, I got pretty frustrated there whenever I lost a lap, and like, okay, you're in the lucky dog spot now, and we'd go green, and Kyle would keep lapping trucks, and so we'd miss it, and that was pretty frustrating. But Rudy kept me calm, and Tony Hirschman on top of the spotter stand kept me informed on what's going on, and we were able to persevere and get back up there.
All right, additional questions? Okay, we'll come up front. Any questions upstairs in the press box? All right,
Pete
go ahead.
McCall from AutoRacing1.com for Johnny. On the last couple of restarts, Kyle Busch seemed to just be able to just blow your doors off on each restart. But did you have anything for him other than to wreck him? I mean, was there anything you guys could do to catch him?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to call it the way it is. I pushed him on that restart, obviously, and then when he got clear of the start-finish line, he obviously pulled down to try to help Christopher get momentum, which is what a teammate should do. But just super fast, you know what I mean? I'm wide open through 1 and 2, grabbing gears as best I can, and he's still squirting away from me. So there's not a whole lot you can do there. I mean, you said wreck him. I can't even get to him to wreck him. So it's just, they've got a little bit extra speed on the initial get-go, and that's something that I felt like, we lacked a lot last year. We've come a long way, and we continue to get better at that part of it. But these races anymore, it seems like they come down to, the end of these races, and you've got to have fire off speed. So you can't give anything up. You got to be good at the beginning of a run. You got to be good at the end of a run. But I don't know if it's me or what. If I need to be better about takeoff speed and not worry so much about older tires deeper into a run. And but yeah, that 51 he's just fast.
All right, any questions in the press box?
Perfect.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, we've now been joined by our race winner of the North Carolina Education Lottery 200, driver of the number 51 Cessna Toyota, Kyle Busch. This is Kyle's second victory this season and his 7th victory and 10th top 10 finish in 11 races here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kyle, just talk a little bit about your night. You made some aggressive moves that were fun to watch from our seat, but tell us what it looked like from yours.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting from my seat and from my vantage point as well. But we had a really fast Cessna Tundra tonight. Bono and the guys did a great job, and really appreciate everybody at KBM being a cohesive unit, working together and building speed at the racetrack together. Rowdy Manufacturing chassis are pretty awesome, and they continue to improve each and every week. And the guys at the body shop are really helping us out and building some good speed. So all in all, just tonight, the whole package kind of brought together there. The second stage of the race was quite interesting, quite unique. We kind of fell back a little bit there with the pit cycle that happened, ending that stage. And then on the restart, it didn't quite go our way either, being in the wrong lane, and kind of got boxed to the back a little bit. But fought our way back towards the front, and then just in time for that segment to end, we shot through the middle of those guys. They were kind of battling really hard side by side and kind of dragging each other down, gave me a big run down the front stretch, and then I made the top side work through 1 and 2, got a good run off of 2, and I thought the middle was going to close up and I was going to have to push the 21 and have to battle it out with the 21, but Crafton left me a lane through the middle and just enough to squeak through there, so I kind of blew by both of them, which was pretty awesome for me.
All right, and we've also been joined by our race-winning crew chief, Kevin Bono Mannion. And Kevin, tell us a little bit about what that victory looked like from your vantage point.
In front of the home crowd with a lot of guys and girls from the shop here is really special. Always kind of to win at your home track, your given home track. So it seemed rather easy in the first segment, and like Kyle said, the second segment it got challenging being stuck on the bottom, and but Kyle did a good job in the high line, and then the Red Sea parted there, and he went between them two trucks and with just a couple to go. So that kind of set us up for the last segment. And with the laps winding down, we were keeping track of the green flag laps, and a caution came out just a little bit too late to take tires. With a little bit of cushion behind us for the guys that did pit, there was no chance to get back to the front.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Kyle or Kevin. If you have one, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation, and we'll start in the back.
Jacob Silma, Performance Motorsports Network. Kyle, I've actually got two for you here. I'll start with 48th career win, and I know I've heard you say in years past that maybe when your career's done, you'll start looking at the numbers, but is there ever a part of you when you're winning all these truck races and inching closer to Ron's 51 at the top that maybe during the week you think about it and go, we're getting there?
Yes and no. I mean, certainly when I'm at my shop and hanging out with the KBM boys and looking at all the banners, you kind of reflect on it a little bit. And we've come a long ways in just being in existence since 2010. So it's been a fantastic run, and we win a lot, which is great. And I've won with all different crew chiefs at my building, so that's even better. And working with all the people and all the hard work that they put in, you want to reward them. And fortunately, I can do that in a truck series. And the record is it's just a number, I guess. Certainly I remember surpassing Mark Martin on the Xfinity side, and that was a lot of fun and pretty interesting. And so look forward to hopefully being able to pass Ron on the truck side and be able to set that a little bit higher. And hopefully one day, when I'm all said and done with the Cup stuff, maybe I'll run my retirement tour in the truck series and win the championship and get the trifecta. So we'll see how that goes.
And as far as this place, it's home for so many of the teams, including KBM. You've won now 7 truck races here, and more than that in the Xfinity Series. All-Star race tomorrow night, 600 next week. What would it mean to you to finally break that goose egg in the Cup win column here and just put that check off the list?
It would mean a ton. Anytime you can win here in Charlotte, it's in front of your friends, your family, your fans, and everybody in the close area here to the race shop. So I'd certainly love to be able to do that. We've talked about it for a lot of years, but just kind of been eluded, and not being able to score that win. But everybody's worked hard. I think I got a fast piece over there. My M&M's Caramel Camry is got some good speed in it. So we're starting up front. That's a good omen, hopefully, and that we can keep ourselves up front for much of the night and put ourselves in position when it matters most in those final 10 laps.
All right, additional questions? Okay, we'll come from to Bob.
We woke him up.
Bob Cockers, ESPN. You all announced the Todd Gilliland deal today with Pedigree, and I'm curious, how much do you think that deal came through because he's won so much lately, and maybe how much of it was the fact that David drove a Pedigree car in the past as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors that kind of worked into that. It was certainly through my conversations with the M&M's folks and talking with them. It is a Mars brand. It is a Mars company, the Pedigree is. So, just discussing with them that we had some openings on our trucks, and they asked me, well, what kind of openings do you have? So I explained to them some of the opportunities that I had to run 2 more races, and then that Todd had in getting some seat time for him this year and getting him ready to go, hopefully full-time next year. And so they jumped at the bit. We put the deal together. Actually, it started in the off-season sometime. I want to say January or even February is when we started the discussions and talking, and we just finally got everything all done and signed up and got Pedigree and the Banfield folks all raring to go. And we're really looking forward to sharing some treats with many of our pets, but more importantly with Todd being in victory lane here, hopefully.
All right, additional questions? Any questions in the press box?
No questions in the press box.
All right. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy
All right.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you guys,
Appreciate it.
and congrats again on the win.